Alrighty. Wow. What a fantastic weekend. I
No.
absolutely loved it. Diego, almost a perfect bracket until
Perfect
UConn
Final
team.
Four. Yeah.
That first of all, I just gotta say, impressive work by you. Really impressive work. Like I feel like
Yeah.
this year has been like one of those years where it's like there's not really any Cinderella stories. Maybe Iowa to as far as they
True.
got, but like
Yeah.
I like even so, like you'd expect that, and then bang, a shocker of UConn Duke happens. First of all, how are you doing? And what were your thoughts when Mullins hit that half court three pretty much?
Bro, I was so excited, man, because I think was it Silas? It was off a free throw, I believe, from UConn. And I was like, okay, all you have to do is just keep the ball. You don't have to trip on anything. Just take your time. And it was a bit difficult with Boozer or Cam Boozer. He makes the pass to Dame Sar, and then he makes pass to Caden. I'm like, we're so close. This is perfect. And then he just makes that crazy terrible pass. I'm like, okay, that's fine. That's fine. It's 4 seconds. That's not a lot of time. They won't be able to do anything. What is the pass to Karen, the pass back, and a heave, a 40-foot heave? And I was doing homework with my girlfriend at a coffee shop. I had finished, and she was still finishing up stuff, so I was watching. And I just audibly, I'm like, oh my God. Like that was, and I was texting you or yesterday, I think, that I got to make a list of all of these like shots that I've seen and where I was when I saw them, because holy moly, that is insane. I cannot believe that happened. And just the stones on Braylon Mullins to just be like, and he hadn't made one all game. He was 0-4. He's just like, you know what? I'm chucking this up and I'm winning it. Like that's crazy.
Even Caravan too. Like I think he made only one or two threes
Yeah.
in the game, and
They shot terribly.
like just
UConn.
well, as a team, they were like 1 of 18 as a team
Yeah.
before they hit like 4 or 5. It was just absolutely absurd.
Yeah.
I think it's right up there with. Remember the championship game a couple years back between UConn? No, not UConn. It was
UCLA and
UNC.
Gonzaga. Oh, Villanova, UNC.
UNC and
20.
Villanova, where they hit back-to-back threes, like one to
Mhm.
tie and then one to win it.
Yeah.
That reminds me of those moments. But like, if you're a Caden Boozer, man, and you're playing that position, I know you were kind of thrust in the role you were because of what was happening with their main point guard being hurt for so long.
Yeah.
But
Oh, Caden Booster. Yeah.
yeah, he's the one who made that pass that got deflected, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you have Isaiah Evans, like on the left corner. He doesn't even see him. Like he
Mhm.
has two guys in the corner, and he's just fully locked in on the guy to the right, despite the defense playing that side. That's why it got deflected. And I'm like, dude, they had the corner guy left. Don't force the ball somewhere. Just get it out of your hands to the right guy. That I don't have a problem with the pass. Yes, they could have held on to it, but like when you're in that scenario and you're getting doubled, the last thing you want to do is get stripped on that side of
Yeah.
the court, right? Um, having been stripped all the time in
Yeah.
those scenarios, like I get why you want to get it out of your hands as soon as possible. You just, especially in the college game, you got to see the whole court.
Yeah.
You have to see the whole court there, and that's that. And on top of like not even bothering to contest a shot, is I
Yeah.
think
And Isaiah
huge
Evans.
mistake
Yeah.
making, right? I don't think it's the fact that they were passing it around that's the issue. It's the fact on like how they got to those passes. Like what was the thought process behind the passes?
Mm.
Because Cameron Boozer's first pass, okay, you do that. That makes sense. You break the trap
Yeah.
out of passing it around. But Caden's was just locked in on a guy, and like deflections are gonna happen when you get to that stage. I
Yeah.
almost said Demary cost UConn the game because
Yeah.
there's one
Missing
scenario where
one.
just like he just lost control of the ball, just flopped on his feet.
Mm-hmm.
And that I was about to say that decided the game pretty much. Because when he went into line, like they were down by what
Yeah.
2 or 3, and he would have had he not like let the ball go and that's at like in the second half, late in the second half like that, it would have been a tie ball game. Like anyway, and then he makes the play of the game to get a tip, and and start that whole sequence after hitting one free throw would be clutch.
Yeah,
Just great resilience by UConn. Just they hung around all game. I turned the game off after halftime because I'm like,
yeah,
20-point game. No team has ever come back from 15 down. There's no way it's going to happen. Then, like
yeah,
20 minutes later, I checked my phone just to see, oh, what's the score? It's like a 7-point game.
yeah. It's
65,
crazy.
like, what was it? 65-58. I got to tune into this. So,
Yeah, I mean, I was surprised, and in the Michigan State game too. Terrace Reed is just like, at first I didn't pick UConn to go that far just because I was like, whatever, man. Like they don't seem that loaded. Terrace Reed just seemed like a random guy, and in the Michigan State game, he just showed he gave these like Hakeem Olajuwon like huge refrigerator of a man with skill and touch was crazy, and he did a little bit of that this game too. And UConn's movement, which we'll talk about later,
he,
that
he
was just
only, he
killer.
was their only offense, dude, in the first half. He was their
Yeah,
only, I literally watched the first 10 minutes of the game. It seemed like every single time they went down the court, it was to set up Terrence Reed or give
yeah,
it to Terrence Reed on the post up. Every single
hmm
time. Because
yeah,
even with the start, when you see the starting lineups, he had 15 pounds
yeah,
on the heaviest guy in Duke has, and that was Boozer.
yeah,
Like, of course, he's going to be a
yeah.
mismatch nightmare. Do I think he does a little bit too much sometimes? Yes. But I sat here thinking to myself, like, this guy's everywhere. And if I'm a Bulls fan, like, I would love to have him on the team.
Yeah.
Now, it's a deep class, and maybe we might talk about it with a recap now, but Terrence Reed got some things to clean up, like all prospects do, but he was really, I think he showed a lot of people up in this past game against Duke.
Yeah, I think I have no idea where he's mocked, but yeah, he could be very, very interesting. And I think the biggest thing, obviously, there's a lot of big guys, but he can't shoot, but he has decent passing skills. He made some like passes into cutters, which are obviously are planned and programmed, but very good of him to capitalize on that.
So, where do you think he stands between Krivas and Mara? Because they're really good
Um,
players of their own right, on
I
arguably the two best teams left in the tournament.
I think Krivas, I like Krivas a little bit more than Mara just because I feel like he doesn't lose anything to Mara. Mara's taller, but he's not stronger. And that's a big thing I've been learning, not just this year. I feel like this year in general, and not just through college, but in the NBA as well, is there's something to be said about not just even last year or maybe a few years ago in the playoffs. Luka plays the Timberwolves and he's being guarded by was it Jaden McDaniels. He's a good defender. He's long, but he's not strong enough to go up against Luka. Krivas is gonna like out muscle a Daimara because he weighs 260 pounds. I don't care if you're 7'7", if you don't weigh over 200, like if you have a 30-pound like weight disparity, you're cooked. So I think it'll be interesting to see. And yeah, I don't think anyone has the size that kind of size that Terrace Reed or Krivas has because Illinois is also big, but they're not as
Well,
strong.
Reed is 265.
Yeah, no, so they're pretty similar. That's what I was saying. Him and Reed, Krivas and Reed are pretty similar. Like big body refrigerator, mountain of a man type of build. Jeez, but yeah, I think they're that kind of separates them. And Arizona in general is already huge. I don't think their lineup is 6'5" and up, which same with Illinois is pretty big. Michigan has Cadeau and yeah, UConn's guards are a bit small and not that great.
Wait,
So
is Bradley starting for Arizona?
I think so. Jaden Bradley, Burries,
He
Karchenkov, and
okay,
then Pete.
so semantics, but he's 6'3", but pretty much
What? Okay.
he's a 6'3" guard. But I mean, for the rest of their lineup, yeah,
Yeah,
totally get it. Um, well, what do you think of Jackson Lundenberg? Like
he's awesome.
Arizona or Michigan have at least 8 or 9 guys you'll have to keep your eyes on for the draft.
Oh
Like, there's a
yeah.
lot of great talent there.
I think Yaxel Lendeborg is so interesting because he was in the middle. I don't want to say middle of nowhere because I actually lived in Birmingham for a summer back in 2021. But he was at University of Alabama Birmingham, just putting up numbers, and no one knew anything just because he's at UAB and he's scoring. Like I think he led his team in points, rebounds, assists, or something like that. And he's been doing producing that same way, being able to defend all 5 positions. I think he defended Keenan Wagler when we played them, and he's an amazing player. He's for sure gonna go in the draft here, and I love him. And him and Mara have 2 Hispanics on the team, and I go to Michigan now, so I kind of have some even more reason to support.
So next question here: if it's Illinois and Michigan in the title, who are you rooting for?
I gotta go for Illinois. I gotta go for Illinois. I literally have the Illinois jersey here, and
I just want to check it to make sure if you remember that, but
I will never forget. So, and I've seen. I mean, it really coincidentally works out for both. That like I start going there, and they get better both schools, which is kind of crazy. But
are you sure you're not consulting them?
I'm not what
about like how to get these elite lineups on their team.
No, I'm not, unfortunately. Yeah, it's crazy because that one video I made early in the year, like I was like, Illinois could be like a national championship contender if they do these things, and we're somehow in it. So it's kind of crazy, exciting stuff. So we'll see how Saturday goes. I'll be crossing my fingers, and I'm scared because last time Illinois played UConn 2 years ago, we were down 1 going into the second half, and we decided to try to challenge Donovan Clingan for a whole half and then give up like a 30-0 run. So
I do remember that game.
That was the most depressing thing I've ever witnessed. Like that was crazy. That was just wildly insane to think you're just going at Donovan Clingan, gonna punish him when we didn't. Our tallest guy was me, like 6'10". Wild stuff, but
you're not gonna like hearing this, but UConn and Illinois actually already squared off before.
Yeah. Oh god, I saw this.
74-61 game. Lowest point scored by Illinois.
Yeah.
Like this season.
Also, yeah.
There's a big caveat here because he is a big variable in all of this. Keithan Wagler, was not where he is now.
He wasn't even
starting. And that guy, like some of the step backs and like the hesitation, misdirection, dribble steps into the step backs he had were just filthy.
Mm-hmm.
Like I had a filthy play at pickup where I initially had a misdirection step back.
Yeah.
Toss a 3. I missed it. I was like, oh, I wanted the hit so badly. I had this in the right wing. And then the very next wing, I got in transition. Same defender on me. Mm-hmm. I hit him with the same move. He jumps this time because he saw me go into the shooting motion the last time I did it. And then I just drove right past him. Yeah. Like the second I saw him leave his feet. It was the best feeling in the world. Like Keithan Wagler has that type of wiggle to his game and then obviously a lot more. So like when you see that, it always excites you of a player of his talent, plus like all the depth the line I have. But like him in particular, he's going to be the X factor against UConn. So
yeah, he's going to be big, and I think especially just because UConn's guards, they don't have elite guard play per se. I mean, Solo Ball, I don't know. I think he is a guard, but he's kind of been inconsistent, is what I've been hearing.
Solo Ball and Demary just frustrate me when watching them because they're great one moment and then they make you pull out your hair.
Yeah, but I'm happy we're at a completely different point than we were in that Thanksgiving. I think it was Black Friday matchup, and man, it just pissed me off so much. I was just like, man, we are playing absolutely dog, and it was really frustrating to watch. I was literally like, yeah, we play well against all these. This is preseason, right? In college, you play kind of these I don't know if they're D3, but these mid-major teams. And I'm like, bro, yeah, you beat up on these random teams, but then you pull up against UConn and you just get smacked around. I was like, this is not it. So hopefully we're locked in here, different lineup, different vibe, playing defense, I think is the biggest thing. So hopefully
if they're as locked in as the Miami Heat were against the Philadelphia 76ers last night, I think they're in for a great game. I was watching that game yesterday and I was just shocked how the 76ers lost control. So we'll jump into the film study here. It starts out great for the Sixers. 3 minutes to go. You have Embiid. They're passing around the zone. Get an open look. Embiid hits the 3. Okay, you're like, awesome. This is great. 76ers have a back and control. You might be a back and forth. Then you have Hawkins, dribble it, Wiggins, 3. Okay, all right. Nobody
Boom.
boxes out Bam. Just go
Yeah.
sky high. And all of a sudden, what turned into a one-shot possession, 2-point game. Okay. So you just
It's
expect
fine.
the Sixers to respond. I just want you to watch what unfolds after this. I'm going to shut up.
Yeah.
Again, I'm just going to say this. Pay attention to where Embiid is on every offensive possession.
I get closer. All right. And then another one. That's crazy.
It's pulling off on Mullins. Again, mind you, they were down 4 when this run has started.
I appreciate you saying to look at where Embiid was. I watched this and I was like, yeah, man, it's just missing shots. And I didn't notice that Embiid is just always in the middle. But this is definitely not your traditional zone. Ooh. Jaime Jaquez.
My point is Miami played a very specific zone, and the Sixers did nothing to get Embiid into like a deeper in the middle of the field, deeper in the paint. They did no such thing. They didn't attack the basket the way you would have thought. They just kind of stood around, shot threes, and then like tried to give it Embiid, but like in spots where like, yeah, Embiid can shoot it and make it, but he wants to like we were just talking about like refrigerator bodies and how they just like dominate the court in the NCAA tournament. You're not seeing that from Embiid. Like you're not seeing and just a lack of effort too. Like it's translating to both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
Like that's the biggest thing to take away here. And then it puts them in disadvantage situations because of long rebounds and just not being able to locate Hero. So
yeah, I mean, one thing I heard on a podcast today was just that like Embiid is playing, he's scoring, but he's not fully confident in his body, and that can kind of show up in this like slowness to his game. But I'm usually not, and I feel like we've talked about it so many times with I'm like anti-zone usually because it takes so much more thought than just playing man. But the way Eric Spoelstra implements this, it's just like a masterclass level of implementation. Like if you go back, it's not a clear zone. It's like they match up and then take a zone around each person. And so it's sort of like a good man defense has zone concepts as in help. You help the helper and then rotate and whatnot. But then this great zone has man concepts where they're not exactly stuck to their zone, right? They're still kind of helping a little bit. And I honestly don't even fully understand it. And that's why it's so crazy to me. Like I feel like Eric Spoelstra made it do genre of zone, like way back in like 23 when they had like the zombie heat run. So yeah, shout outs to him.
but you're missing some context here too. The Sixers only had one other timeout all game,
Really.
like from this moment on. So it's not like Nick Nurse could have like seen it and then try to develop a countermeasure because you only have one timeout left in the game. You
Right.
don't know what the situation is going to be with 1 minute to go and like how you maximize your possessions there. So his hands were tied in this regard, and that's just great awareness by Spoelstra to pull something like this at the end of the game and like force the Sixers to adjust in real time.
Yeah.
Like that's elite coaching right there.
Yeah.
Recognizing what's the situation, what does the other team have, what do we have in our disposal, and they completely took out the Sixers from what they wanted to do. You could tell. Like Maxey wants to be shooting a contested three with a defender crossing his face. No, he wants to get downhill, use his speed to create separation, whether it's a layup or like a floater or like some advantage. and they were completely taken out of that game.
Yeah, yeah, crazy how it works out, but awesome game plan by Spo. He's a great coach.
Indeed, he is. Yep. All right. Tatum.
Yeah,
Just a
man,
Tatum update.
this is
Like
wild.
completely willing to explode to the rim, grab dunks, play through contact. Like you love seeing this out of him.
Yeah, I keep thinking, man, like what in the world? What kind of treatment did they do to my man here? Like he is, I couldn't have imagined even like 11 months ago that
Lockout
he would
George,
be here.
dude. Like
Yeah,
that's probably the most impressive thing to me because you need like the quick like reflexes and play like a pogo stick. And to be able to do that off an Achilles tear, that's really impressive.
yeah, he's just absolutely something else. And I saw, I think, was it Sunday or Saturday? He dropped 32 points. Like, what in the world? He's on another level, and I'm really happy for him. Like, I was playing 2K yesterday. I was like, what? Like, how is he? I just couldn't have imagined he would be like on 2K26 after all of this time and such a terrible injury that like ended careers maybe like 20 years ago or changed your career arc. And now he's just, yeah, I'm just back to where I was. Nothing new. Same guy. Different year. It's wild.
But they had the team to beat in your mind?
In the East now, yeah. The Pistons are a bit questionable with Cade's collapsed lung, which is very unfortunate. And especially with the Hawks maybe an 8 seed and now going 16-2 in the past 18 games. It's just crazy. So yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be unfortunate for the Pistons because they're a great defensive team. Um,
Yeah.
but this is even more crazy.
Yeah, this is
How does this happen? Like these are two playoff contending teams, by the way. And like how do you let a team just score 31 straight points? I feel like this is something that would happen in 2K if I was facing my brother.
the brother shade. But yeah, I was thinking about it earlier too. We're obviously on a podcast they're talking about the Magic and this debacle we're watching here. Bro, in the summer, everyone was saying Magic to the Eastern Conference Finals. Magic year right here. This is their time. They rebranded everything, yada yada. Bro, this has been a terrible season. And granted, again, Anthony Black is out now. Franz Wagner. I honestly don't even like. He's just out every year. It feels like, and Paolo was out for a while. I just can't understand how.
It's a 5-on-1.
Yeah, that as well. Just not really want it. Like, ugh. And Desmond Bane's played well. Like he had a tough start, but he turned it on, and it's tough. Tough to be a Magic fan. Currently, though, they're up 20-10 on the Suns, so who knows if they've had a players only meeting and they're ready.
It just didn't seem like they were ready to play.
Yeah,
Like
I
that's
think
just they look a step slow. They're not running to the ball. Bane is like still like pushing people or trying to push people instead of like
yeah,
contest. I don't know.
yeah. He just got into a little scuffle with Booker a few minutes ago. Just an
No way.
interesting guy. No, yeah, it got called on Booker for a tech, but it was just like, how do you just keep doing this? You can't keep getting away with this. But anywho,
And it's barely the second quarter started yet, and they already had 41 points. That's what's just shocking to me.
yep, yeah, they didn't score for like 6 minutes or something like that, maybe even more.
Yeah, I mean that's how you lose basketball games. That's how you
Yep.
do it.
You got to want to do it and be locked in, be ready, be prepared.
Alrighty.
Oh, this
Dyson
is so
Daniels talk.
crazy. This is wild. This is
Most
insane.
efficient offensive player in the month of March. Were you expecting this?
No one is expecting this, but it makes sense. It actually is funny. I was thinking about when I was watching this. Maybe it was during lunch. I just finished watching a B-ball breakdown video about the Hawks, and it makes so much sense that in this month, since Trae Young has been traded, who has the ball now? Obviously, Jalen Johnson has the ball. We talked about Nikhil Alexander Walker last week, but most of his touches weren't just all him creating. They were him catching and shooting, a bit of creation, a drive, a pass out. And so instead of just having Trae Young with the ball all the time, now it's Jalen Johnson, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, and Dyson Daniels getting the ball. And for a guy who can't shoot a lick really this year, he can't shoot at all. This is how you get to your best in transition, driving into the paint, and really using that floater. I didn't really remember. I was unfamiliar with this floater game. So awesome for him. He deserves it after a tough stretch there.
I think it's like one of those like weird change-ups that you see like when Trae Young was on the roster. Or now, like when he's off the roster, you're seeing it more frequently. You're like, "Whoa, I'm not aware that it's a part of his game." But like, I'm glad you mentioned that because I think the unique part about his game is like you watch him extend, and a lot of these are just floaters and layup highlights.
Yeah.
But you watch his arm angle when he's releasing the ball; it's varied every time. You can't get a good read on it. Like reverse layup on Draymond Green, like you could tell he's like trying to pick up on when and where he's going to release the ball. Yeah, and you're not expecting the floater from that distance on the big that you just saw. So it's just the timing of when he gets the ball up, like he's not afraid to go after contact too. Like there's a lot of things that you can't really prepare for with Dyson. Like even that delayed like layup he had too. Like he knows how to use his archetype well. I guess is a good way to put it, and vary the timing on when he's releasing the ball.
Yeah, so good for him. And I guess I was watching that video and also thinking like, man, Quinn Snyder, like this is a guy. If you're just getting the ball, man, and you know about the 2014 Spurs, also look up the 2021 Utah Jazz. I've brought them up multiple times because they were the number one seed that year, and they were just so smooth with the passing and not having just one guy, Mike Conley, Bojan Bogdanovic, obviously Donovan Mitchell.
Donovan Mitchell and Jamal Murray in the playoffs, like during COVID, was just a thing of beauty. Like in the bubble,
as well.
That was like probably the best game I saw.
Yeah, so just a great coach there. And now he's really got an opportunity because you're kind of with Trae Young, you're locked into something, right? You're locked into this Trae ball, which I never really liked Trae Young, mostly because he was played at Oklahoma and made the Texas fans' life a bit more difficult. But he felt too small, and it was always just one way with him. It's me ball. It's like Luka ball, but you're not big enough to really avoid the turnovers and get into the paint as you would wish. So yeah. I don't want to say I'm happy that Trae Young is on the Wizards, but I think for the Hawks, it's a very good sign and a good step forward.
It's completely transformed their team.
Yep. Way more dangerous whenever you guys able to score.
And with the length they have.
A lot of forwards.
Alrighty. Let's talk about Darius Garland in their landing
this
spot.
Is crazy. I was watching this. I'm like, where was this in Cleveland? Like before he got traded, I was like, man, I hope he can get back to the level he's at. I hope his turf toe gets better. It seemed like it was nagging. It seemed like he couldn't get away from it. And now he goes to LA and now he's better. I'm like, what? This is crazy. Like he looks like he used to, and I'm happy for him. This is just wild.
Yeah,
also,
I mean, the big thing he grew up this season was the playmaking. But now you're seeing the scoring come back to how it was when he first entered the league. And it's kind of amazing to see that. Like, it's interesting because like Kawhi's never played with a player like this exact skill set. So it must be great to have a guard who can get his own shot like this. And he's just playing. I think the thing that stands out to me when you're seeing some of the 3-point values, like the shooting percentage, like you're taking a look at the stats, is he's just playing with flat out confidence right now. Like he's in rhythm. He's like being loose with the ball, but like he's not causing his team. He's not hampering his team in any way. And I think that's the more impressive part about him.
Yeah. So good for him. I'm always pro players being able to play the game as they want to. So happy for him. And yeah, the Clippers really kind of hit it well on the trade deadline with getting Mathurin and Garland here, and really losing nothing. I mean, you lost Zubats, but you also knew something had to change. This is going to be an inflection point, and yeah, maybe they'll be competitive and I think next summer they have a lot of cap space, so who knows what they'll do. And if you're Clippers fans, start looking at those free agents for next year. Although almost no one goes into free agency now, unfortunately.
So right now they're negative, big negative, 44 million in cap space.
Yeah, for that summer or right now.
Almost 6 million in the first apron, 17.7 in the second apron.
But that's this year, right?
Yeah.
Okay, right.
So I go to next year. LA Clippers.
Yeah. What are you using? Are you using Spot Track or
Spot Track? Yeah.
Yeah, that's the move for the contracts and
I'll have to look.
finances.
Because right now they're like, they're negative 80 against the cap, which is
Okay.
crazy. But I don't know what their plans are with Kawhi, because you see Kawhi and
Yeah.
LeBron are going to different places everywhere now. But I think they were linked
Yeah.
to the Warriors last time. So
Right. Who knows? All right.
alrighty.
Good
Speaking
for
of
him.
like all-star talent, who do you think is the real MVP at this point in the season? Like we got under
Right.
2 weeks to go. Wemby's been making great strides. SGA, Jokic, that's nothing
Yeah.
new. Jalen Brown, Luka Doncic, a lot of names. And I think 1 through 4, 1 through 5 is a lot closer than people would think from year to year. But simple question: who do you have?
I think realistically, SG is probably going to go back to back. But Wemby does have an argument, especially if they can overtake the Thunder in the standings. That would be huge. But if I'm a voter, I wouldn't vote Wemby this year because he's already in this conversation in year 3. And he's only going to get better, and he's going to get at least 2 or 3 MVPs. And maybe those 3 straight. And it might start next year. So if I'm a voter, I'm like, I'm not voting Wemby because unless something catastrophic happens, which knock on wood, they don't. I guess this might be wood. Knock on wood that doesn't happen. He's gonna win a few. I'm not worried about that. And my devil's advocate pick is to get Luka the MVP because in my opinion, he's deserved it a few times, specifically in 2024. Obviously, he didn't win it. And like I said, SGA has one. Jokic has one, even though Jokic is a bit undeserving after his injury, not of any fault of his own, just not really playing at the same level. And again, when will Luka win an MVP again? Because whenever Victor, there's obviously going to be voter fatigue, but whenever Victor kind of gets off of that or gets that voter fatigue in 2 to 3 years, I don't know if Luka will still be. How is Luka? Luka's, I think he's 27, 26. So 3 years, he'll be at the end of his prime, maybe. So who knows?
He's 27.
Yeah.
Just turned 27 end of Feb.
So it's a crazy predicament, but probably SGA is going to win it. He's been balling. He's been carrying. He broke that Wilt record. But yeah, I guess I always want Luka to win one because I feel like he maybe got kind of robbed in 24 because I think Jokic won that year and he had already won a bunch. And yeah, MVP is always so subjective that it's always like, what? I feel like the whole point is for us to talk about it and argue,
Well, think about Luka. He had a 60-point game.
It's true.
Like,
It's true.
and you're talking about the Rockets game and this game going back to back. It's that was pretty impressive performance. But I do think Wemby is like closing the gap rapidly. I would agree with you. I think SGA is what I would go just because you pretty much have not had Jalen Williams all game.
Yeah.
All season. The Thunder roster has just been constantly in flux with injuries after the start of the season. And SGA has still continued to navigate against that. Like the Lakers game is probably his most complete game that we've seen recently. And like this is the second time I was watching the Pistons and the Thunder. And I remember the first time I watched them play, like the Thunder had nobody on their starting lineup on the court.
Yeah.
Look, and you like noticed a difference between they're still like talented because they're super deep as a team. It's like they have an embarrassment of riches, but like you could tell the difference when SGA is on the court versus when he's not. as much as I love like AJ Mitchell getting touches towards the end of the
Yeah.
quarter, the end of the half, like as the primary ball handler, it's still SGA's team.
Mhm.
And I think you're starting to see that steady presence. And on top of the stats, where he's like kind of seeing the game completely, I would lean towards that. But I'm telling you, Wemby is going to have multiple MVPs someday too.
Yeah.
Like as
Like,
soon as I think this season is just not as complete as SGA and to no fault of his own. But
yeah.
I can't wait for the playoffs to see Wemby play, where like
Mhm.
the court does shrink from a fast paced game to like a half court game.
Yep.
How like Wemby just takes away surface area to work with as a whole offense, and people are scared to drive directly to him. None of the candidates that we talked about had the defensive impact that Wemby does, where he's just
Oh
completely
yeah.
eliminating like
Yeah.
stretches of land in the half court.
Hmm. I mean, he thinks so as well. I think he said that like defense is 50% of the game, and no other MVP candidate is doing as much as I do, which obviously validly so. But I'm telling you, man, there's just no one who takes up this much space ever.
He's the only guy you can't use the rim as
Yeah,
protection for your layup.
yeah,
The only guy
exactly.
you can't do that. Which is
Hmm.
crazy. Like it
Yeah,
changes how you have to approach him on offense.
yeah, and the turnarounds, right? The U-turns, I think people call them when they're going to the rim. They see him, they're like, nope, 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 turn around, turn around. Don't want that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, unless you're John Morant, that's the only guy. Everybody
yeah,
else, just get out of the way. Don't even bother challenging him. But I mean, there's still 2 weeks. Who knows? Like Wemby could still close out strong. And I think that gap between him and SGA, it's not like
not
it's a
zero.
clear 1 and 2. I think it's more like 1A, 1B right now.
Yeah, he just needs. I think he just needs to over. They need to overtake the Thunder, and that'll do it. But easier said than done. They've been on this crazy stretch. I don't. It's like 30 something games and 2 wins to losses, and they barely gained a game on the Thunder. Like, that is insane.
Yeah.
So
I mean, the Thunder's absurd start, but just inconsistency has been crazy. But
yeah.
yeah, I know you wanted to talk about some clips. We talked about the NCAA tournament in detail.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll kind of play this as you you discuss more of we could stick to UConn and Duke because that's what I'm going to be playing now. But courtesy of Aiden Chang on Twitter,
Yeah.
we'll just
I
sharing some of the highlights. He's doing a breakdown of what we're seeing from UConn and Duke. But I
yeah.
think the thing that stands out to me just watching the end of that game is like how Duke struggled to generate anything beyond the free throw line to
Mm-hmm.
end this game. But you go ahead.
Yeah. Well, yeah. The biggest thing is when you it's just two different offenses completely. And I remember in 2024, after they had already won, so kind of an easy pick, I had picked UConn to win because I had seen that year so many of their plays, which were so, I don't want to say convoluted, but there was so much off-ball movement, and it wasn't like a LeBron, a Luca heliocentric mismatch ball, which is good and gets the job done, but it depends so much on one guy. And again, it's that comparison between that Luca LeBron helio ball versus the 2014 Spurs 5 fingers on a handball. You know what I mean? So, like Duke, what they did was just pick and roll, pick and roll, pick and roll, and that works and that creates advantages. But your other guys are just left standing; they're not
Or
doing
digging it
anything.
to Boozer on the baseline,
Yeah,
like under the hoop. Like that was a lot of their offense.
yep, yeah, or on the post up, right? So it's all just ISO, and it's not as smooth as ball movement, heavy as we'd like. So I guess I don't know because I don't know if Aiden just talks about it for a while, but like if you like scoot up, yeah, just go like halfway through, like you'll just see it's just like yeah, it's just pick and roll. Everyone else standing, kind of watching, and he has to burp up a shot, and that's fine. I mean, he's you. There's a debate. He's the best freshman in basketball, right? In college basketball right now. Yeah, boom. Like this is fine. That's a
That's a
nice
better
simple.
look because you
Yeah,
have Isaiah Evans diving at the corner. Then you go into your
hmm
pick and roll. Like you're generating good looks. But
but
see,
you
like
just yeah.
that's just one guy just driving, getting stuck. Like You're not challenging the deep. Look at all the guys watching Boozer.
Exactly. That could have been a charge, right? I think that's what Aiden says. But then I think you scoot it within 2 minutes of the end, like 4 minutes. Yeah. So just look at how many dribbles are made here. You see how that was just so infinitely more movement on that play than the whole rest of the clip. And that's just what Danny Hurley and UConn do. They're not playing this ISO game, this pickup-esque ISO game. They're running actions and movements constantly, which make it so difficult to guard. I mean, that was basically a pick and roll, but it was integrated into off-ball actions to make it more difficult
but
to
they
set up.
started off with an off-ball action, and Reed like instantly dove. He's not even looking to go to the rim. He's looking to set screens, and now you're creating looks for him in the post-up. And it's a stark difference between what they did in the first half, because most of what they did in the first half was get the ball to Reed on the post-up block. Like even here, it's a little bit different because you're kind of like slipping the screen, but you're slipping it into a post-up. It's just a lot of different ways to get to where you want to go.
Yep. It's like
great steal.
It's like what Duke wanted to do was let's just pick and roll and figure something out. But UConn, it's not about figuring it out. It's about this is what we do, and we know what each thing means off these, like by reading the defense. And it's so much more dangerous. And it's not the same as the 2014 Spurs, but it's the same type of. It's like it's the same words, just in a different font, you know. And it's so interesting. I love it. So that's why I'm scared. But it would be crazy for UConn to win three natties in 4 years? 3 years? No, it would be 4 years.
Even that too. I love that. I'm gonna go back a little bit. I love this decision by Reed because you're looking at the post up. He's playing against a tendency where Boozer's been blocking him all game.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't even pay attention to guys around him when they run an action to slip. I think it's Demary.
Yeah.
Like in the baseline corner, like a short roll from the baseline to get that little floater up. Like just genius play designs to play off a tendency. And then finally Caravan was able to get him rhythm. But like these plays where you're getting people on the move and you're causing like ancillary defenders who should be ball watching to have to like go through screens or like look away from the ball to try and stay in front of their man and understand the concept of what's being done to them. Like these are the little things that are going to create advantages for your team, but out like asking your superstars to be superhuman.
Yep. And I think that's the biggest thing is just you're making the defense think a lot more. You're making their life difficult. Whereas a pick and roll is standing there, it's just like, we know what's going to happen, and I can kind of see what's about to go on. So, yeah.
Alrighty. Before I let you go, Diego, watching all this basketball now, who's going number 1 overall?
Bro, my pick, if Darren Peterson was healthy, it would have been him. I like Cam Boozer more than AJ DeBonsa, so I'd pick Cam. But it also depends on the team. But if I'm that first team, I'm picking Cam Boozer.
What about the guy from UNC?
Caleb Wilson. He's like a mini Giannis. Plays good defense, really long. He can't shoot. So, Giannis Evan Mobley mold, but I don't know. Picking him at 4 and I guess there's so many guards in this draft and in the league that you don't need that. But I feel like he's not super special per se. Like he's not groundbreakingly change your life special, but he's a really good player, you know. So
I would have maybe said Peterson, but I think at this point DeBonsa, you just have so many tools. If you put him in the right situation, you have to start with a player like that. But it's a very deep class. Very deep class. Like
insanely deep.
I will be very curious to see where Darius Acuff goes.
Yeah,
because to me, I think he's the best. I think he's the best guard right now. Throw out there, bar none. Like he's gonna definitely elevate the team.
He's just a cone on defense, but he should be able to figure that out. I hope. Detroit native.
It's with the right coach. You got to have the right. Cade and Acuff on the same team would be what the heck?
That would be insane. But he's not going. He's not staying on the board that long. He's definitely top. He could be top 5. It's easy.
Alrighty, guys. That will do it for us. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you ride it out with Diego with Illini.
Yes, sir.
Big for Rutgers. I have no stake in it. So they didn't make the tournament.
Yeah.
Ace Bailey and Dylan Harper. It's been a long time since then.
Yeah.
Till then, we'll catch you later. Enjoy the games tonight. I know the Knicks and Rockets are playing, and then I think the Clippers and another team are playing on a Peacock. So those are
Oh,
good
wow.
games to watch. But
Nice.
yeah, until then, we'll see you next week. Diego, enjoy Easter. I'll see you next week as well. But until then, take it easy.
See ya.